And then talking about people, definitely we invested a lot of our time with people. People, it can be acquaintance, it can be our good friends, family friends, or even family. Okay. Let me see. And I also understand that people who come to our life, I remember this quote, like if I'm not wrong, it's like they either come to our life to teach us a lesson, or we learn something from them, or another word is what? There's three definition of why you cross path with people. They teach you, you learn a lesson, or they just temporary share for that
Oh,
particular moment.
interesting.
There's a reason for them to be there at that point of time, and then they have to go. Yeah, so these three things why people came across lah.
Came across our life, like, in a way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we do. I mean, definitely, we came across with people who are considered as a toxic. That make our relationship kind of a distance. Or at that point of time, there's certain reason that why we want to continue that relationship because we gain out of something, vice versa, or just to what fill in the gap that we felt. You know, for the wrong reason lah. When we try to stick around with in a toxic relationship. Yeah. I wonder did you encounter that part?
Definitely, I think it's most of us lah. I can say. I don't want to say all of us. I would rather say
Yeah.
most of us. We do go through all this relationship because we will have during a point in time we will have a lot of friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then that's when you will have some others who are trying to compete among each other. Then you see some of them, they are just the chill ones. So
Mm-hmm.
I do go through it. So like it really like doing for a start, it doesn't, it's all it's all awesome, beautiful, fun, it's just like crazy and whatever not. But once as the the friendship or the companionship just go by, then that's when you see those that is sadly to put, that is toxic, or they have, or I call it, they have their own personal agenda, start to creep out, start to show out. Then that's when you see, like, man, like,
Mm.
you don't know, you see all these kind of things, and the the treatment that yourself or your friends know that go through, and it's sometimes I find that it's really it's a very interesting journey, because sometimes people go through a toxic relationship, they'll be like, oh man, it's really painful, it's really painful. But for me, yes, correct, it's really painful, really frustrating, sometimes like really testing your your patience or something. But I can say it also, the good side is that one thing, it allows you to think and value yourself. That's one, because you really get all this this toxic relationship from so and so, you start to appreciate yourself more, because you sometimes you get condemned by them. So when when the comments that you're getting, then you'll be like, hey, that's not me. You start to so called, like, you start to in a way believe or support yourself, and like, to stand up or stood up for yourself. You like, nah, that's not me. It doesn't. It's not true. And then secondly is that you start to identify, and you start to see that among the group itself, there's some people who are just genuinely, they are just really awesome people, and they sometimes, when you are going through some tough time with such toxic people, they are there to stood by you and say, nah, actually we believe you're not such person. No, you actually So that's when the journey itself will just go through, and it actually it give yeah lah, it give a mixed feeling. Is you do feel frustrated, angry, you feel that this journey. But at the end of the day, you are you're reflecting yourself, you're appreciating yourself. Then you are also looking at the others and say, hey, actually these few others, yeah, actually the so called the these are the actually the truthful ones that will go further in my life as a friend or as a companion. Then that's when the bond or the companionship gets stronger even though it got smaller. I always believe that even though friendship or among friends it gets smaller in quantity, but it gets stronger in bond. It's like really unbreakable. So yeah, that's I think the discovery I had when in terms of friendship journey, or going through a time of toxic relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. I think last time is very much of like we're trying to fit in a group
Yes.
that we actually doesn't belong to, and we're trying hard to just be part of it, which actually doesn't really show your true self lah. So I think the key thing is acceptance. Okay,
Yeah.
acceptance. You must really accept who you are. Kata orang self-love, self-care, and know your priority. So when you see in that sense, then you know what's your worth lah.
So
What's your
yes.
worth, and whether this worth be part in your life or not. This person
Mm.
or this group. So when you got into that stage, kata orang, it's close to your self-actualization. We have a hierarchy on that in our development as a human being. So yeah, if you reach there, by then you know the type of people you want to filter out from your life lah. It can be family members though,
Yep.
to be honest. So it definitely people say like, family kan we are connected, we have the same blood. Yes, but if it's toxic for you and it really affect your entire performance at work or your health or your personal level, your emotion, all that, then it's best to distance and come back when it's needed lah, or be there when it's needed. At the end of the day, yes, at the end of the day, it's your family, but you must know your self care lah. Your self care is important. Yeah, same goes to among your friends out there. And there is some friends who are worth fighting for. Other than that, it's not worth it lah. So you have to reevaluate your current connections lah. That's how I see it.
Agreed.
Yeah. So definitely there are people who taught us with lessons, be it with good intentions or otherwise. We do have that lah. Definitely those we came across in our workplace or in outsiders. I think for me very much in the workplace lah. Yeah, I couldn't count how many times I have a meltdown or breakdown because of people. But it also make me become more stronger lah than before. And when it comes to people call it as a conflict resolution, where you have to do problem solving, making certain decision, you will have to kind of step back and know how to deal with certain situation better lah. Yeah, especially people are very tricky because unless you have telepathy, you can read their mind, then it's good. Otherwise, if you are a good reader, you can just look by the vibe and the energy that they give you. Whether this person, that's why when he said, I can only connect with genuine people. So aku genuine lah kan kau tak?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Aduh.
the thing is, if you show yourself out there, the true you, is really whoever you try to build a relationship with or be friend with is very easy because you open yourself. There's nothing to guard. If you are
Nothing to hide.
guarded with a lot of wall, you being dishonest, not telling the truth about this and that, people will be like skeptical lah. Want to be friend with you macam think twice, macam reliable ke dia ni, worth ke, to be friend
Yeah.
with. People will just take a step back because you are not being honest to you.
True. And if you have like kind of like a hidden agenda, or like sometimes you have like your own personal agenda, you might sometimes you try to keep it, but at the end of the day, sometimes this one is a natural instinct, or I'm not saying to say instinct apa lah, but as life as life goes by, we are able to identify it. Then that's when all I can say, you are. I'm not trying to say like you are not doing yourself a favor, but yeah, people can tell. People will be like, this so and so is like having some agenda or whatever lah. So I kind of like have enough, or some people like they say I totally have enough, or they will just say that I'll be just way watchful lah with such people around. But I still still being a nice fella, I will still be a friend or whatever. But they really put that label on you, so it's like quite painful. That's why sometimes I always, even for myself, I always tell myself is that be truthful to anyone, and it's just even I go to work, doing my work, so I still tell people, and the way I converse, I try to be as truthful and be as chill as possible. Yeah, there you go.
Easy that way lah.
It's
Because
easy
if you lie, you make sure you have a good memory, to tell all the lies you tell people. Make sure it's consistent. Otherwise, sorry lah. In second question we ask you, it's gonna be a different answer you give than this lah.
Yeah.
So you must have good memory storage, then you can
Mm.
be consistent to it. Otherwise, please lah. Yeah, let's just be genuine and be upfront about it. Yeah, so people. So that's how we invested our time with our education, our personal growth, and people. Other than that, passion. Okay, both of us have our own passions, and that's how we pursue further. Okay, Fai, what would be your word of wisdom when it comes to investing your time?
Investing time. I mean, going back to what the quote I was saying, but then I forget. Never mind, I can look back.
Yes.
The quote that stating that time properly invested is worth a fortune. That's one word of wisdom. But if in terms of myself, is that I'm gonna put it in a very raw way. Is don't be affected or be moved by whatever people perceive or people label or whatever people put it out there, in terms of what supposed to be invested. I would say try not to be influenced or be moved by that, because at the end of the day it boils down to what you want to invest for yourself, because you know yourself best. At the end of the day, like myself, I know what's my strength, what's my weaknesses. I identified it, I acknowledge it, both weaknesses and strength, and then that's when I find whatever areas that I want to invest in myself, so that I can make a fortune. Not meaning money, but in terms of something that can be something that we can quantify or not, as we move or age further in life, until maybe you are in your golden age at 60, 70. We don't know. We don't know how long we will live. Some of us will live maybe shorter, 40, 50. We don't know. But at the end of the day, is whatever we invest now, something in the future. As raw as I can put. There you go.
There you go. There you go. It's right. Yeah. Okay. My quote would be, why don't you replace the word spend with invest in your vocab, and notice how it impacts in your everyday decisions. Gitu. So it's good to reflect on us, okay? When it comes to time that you invest. Are you wasting time, spending time, or investing time? Okay, so when you invest more time into something than others, you become the best among equal. Yeah, I guess. Yes. So it's a wrap from us about this. Yoha, it's a past 5 bedtime. Later tomorrow, if I see him, he's gonna be cranky. I better make him sleep now. Anyway, thank you for coming on board. I appreciate it much for the time.
Thank you, Shep, for inviting me, even though it's late night, but it's okay. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's a good talk. Anyway, thank you. See you when I see you. Bye.
Bye. Awesome.